Hello, hello! Welcome back to N25 Story Summaries. The event for today is Someday from the Depths of Despair, which is Kanade's second focus. Hang tight, Enna fans, we'll be back soon. I am glad we didn't have to wait forever for another Kanade focus, though. Poor girl did not deserve the shaft she got waiting for her first one. The event ran on the JP server from January 21st to the 29th, 2022. We've broken into another year. Kinda crazy to think about. The commissioned song for this event is Tricolage. I think that's how you say it. The synopsis for the event says that Kanade recounts the beginning of Night Court with everyone, so this will definitely be interesting. Let's get started, shall we? Of course, the event begins on a Night Court call. Everything is business as usual. Mafiu says that because of finals coming up soon, she'll have less time to work on Night Court stuff. Kanade wishes her luck, and Mafiu logs off after that. The mention of finals reminds Kanade of her dad, since it was around this time when he was sent to the hospital 2 years ago. When Honami comes over to Kanade's house the next day, the two get to reminiscing about the time when they first met. Kanade says that she's able to relax a bit more now, since she was very closed off and guarded in the beginning. Honami thinks this is because she has people she can open up to now, aka Night Court and the Vocaloids. There's a quick little interlude with Luca and Miku talking about seeking out the Night Court girls, but after that, we quickly get back to Kanade's nostalgia session. She's talking with everyone else about how much things have changed between them, in a good way. Kanade used to speak so formally, especially with Mafiu, and now there's this sort of ease that's come with practice. Since Night Court started out with just Kanade and Mafiu, Musique asked to hear about what it was like before they joined. That's when Luca and Miku pop in to express their interest as well. Oh, they show up as a projection on everyone's computer screens. Not sure how they did that since they've only been able to appear as projections on phones, but not important. Luca and Miku eagerly await Kanade's story, and we dive back in time to 2 years ago with junior high Kanade. Fresh off of her father's hospitalization, Kanade's resolve is burning bright and desperate, agonizing over every little detail she can find. She uploaded a song to a music forum in the hopes of getting feedback. All of the comments are positive. One of them even called Kanade's music a lifeline. Even though this does technically count as saving that person, Kanade still isn't satisfied and turns back to her current work in progress, because if she doesn't, she won't have a reason to live anymore. Wow, okay, outright saying it. Welcome to Depression at 25, everyone. The next day, Kanade complains that her phone has been ringing non-stop despite her attempts at ignoring it. She decides to finally pick up, and it's her grandmother calling from her own hospital room. Apparently, health issues just run in the Yoisaki family, but Kanade's grandmother is fine for the time being. She's worried about Kanade and mentions that she'll be hiring a housekeeper for her. Kanade does not like this idea. She insists that she's fine on her own and hangs up, the frustration evident in her tone. Predictably, Kanade does not follow up on her insistence and only has a little thing of jello for dinner, throwing herself back into her work. Next, we cut to Mafiu at her middle school graduation. Nothing much happens at the ceremony itself, but once they get home, Mafumam says that to celebrate, she's going to let Mafiu pick out a gift, anything she wants. Mafiu says she needs some time to decide and heads up to her room. She struggles with the fact that things aren't really going to change for her in high school, and the night passes as she thinks. The next day, her classmates send Mafiu a song to listen to. They think Mafiu would like it, so she decides to give it a try. Can anyone see where this is going? Well, it's almost what you think it is. The song recommended by Mafiu's classmates doesn't really land with her at all. It's when she decides to click on another song recommended by the website that she truly feels something. She says that it feels like her heart is being squeezed. It's such a powerful feeling for her that she listens to the song all the way up until dinner time without even realizing that time had passed at all. Of course, we find out that the song that pulled Mafiu in was made by Kanade, and we flash back to her point of view. She's not doing so well. Kanade's getting super dizzy and has a pretty intense stomachache. Now, this is what happens when you don't eat or sleep for several days. Fun fact. Despite all of that, Kanade does not care and keeps composing. How? I have no idea. She's getting frustrated that nothing is turning out the way she wants it to, which is probably an effect of the lack of sleep and the lack of food. Okay, well, not probably. It's definitely because of that. Mafiu was struggling as well, just more in the mental department. She listened to a bunch of songs, but nothing affected her the way that Kanade's did. She wants to leave a comment under the video, but doesn't really know how to phrase the question or if Kay will respond. So a month passes by. Progress at an absolute standstill. Mafiu is at her high school orientation when she recognizes one of the teachers. That teacher moved up from Mafiu's middle school to fill in as the high school's music teacher. Mafiu takes this opportunity to ask a question. Okay, well, I won't say it word for word. She asks her a question in a super roundabout way with literally 4 separate sentences, so... Basically, Mafiu just wants to understand why the song affected her so much. The teacher isn't very helpful, but they do suggest copying the composer to learn and figure out the nuances of creating a song for herself. Mafiu thinks this is an interesting idea, but doubts herself, as she's never even thought about composing music before. Mafiu gets home that afternoon and digs up her dad's old synthesizer, and after she's spotted by her mom, quickly smuggles it upstairs to her room. She waits for her parents to fall asleep, and at the fated night court hour, begins to experiment with making her own music. Unbeknownst to either of them, Kanade and Mafiu work on their songs simultaneously, struggling and hitting strides in tandem. When Mafiu is finished, she realizes that she just made her own arrangement of the same song, which is fine since it helped her to understand the feelings of the composer. She thinks the person must be deep in the depths of despair. Yeah, that's the title of the event, so, you know. Though Mafiu seems to be floundering in her own stormy seas, as creating music led her to another dead end in figuring out her true self. She wonders if all of her efforts will be worth it in the end. The next day, Mom convinces Mafiu to pick a wristwatch as her graduation gift, saying it would be practical for her now and in the future when she becomes a doctor. Mafiu takes her mother's word like a punch to the gut. Just the thought of becoming a doctor makes her heart feel cold and stale, the opposite effect of Kay's song. Mafiu wants to wallow in her pain, and thankfully, Kanade's uploaded a brand new song just for her. This one is a lot darker and carries more of Kanade's suffering, which reaches Mafiu and fosters her connection with the music. She notes that the composer desperately wants to disappear, but doesn't at the same time. And Mafiu doesn't want to disappear either. Mafiu's version of Kanade's song still needs to be mastered and encoded before it's ready to be uploaded, but Mafiu hasn't even made an account, so that comes first. She settles on Yuki, the Japanese word for snow, because of a sudden spring snowfall happening outside her window. It's also a pun on her name, but I won't get into that here. Mafiu doesn't even know why she's doing this. She knows it'll end in another dead end, so why keep going? But she still tries. That small little flame inside of her heart hasn't died just yet. Though Kanade is literally on the brink of collapse, she doesn't even watch her most recent song finish uploading before she's on to the next. Seriously, she says that her hands and feet keep falling asleep along with a constant ringing in her ears and splitting headaches. I would make a joke about her needing therapy or something, but this is actually a serious topic. This behavior is not normal. Please do not follow Kanade's example. Mafiu's message pops up on her screen and she gives the new arrangement a listen, completely blown away by the results. Kanade comments that though the song is poorly made, it's given a whole new meaning in life to the song that Kanade never would have thought of on her own. Specifically, she mentions that the song feels like they're in a world devoid of anything at all. A little empty sick eye foreshadowing for you there. Without any hesitation, Kanade throws herself into composing the next song with fresh ideas. Unfortunately, she doesn't get very far. Almost as soon as she starts working, Kanade suddenly collapses and passes out on her kitchen floor. She wakes up in the hospital, having been found by Honami, who Kanade's grandmother had hired anyway. After some fussing from both Honami and Kanade's grandmother, Kanade finally realizes that not taking care of herself will eventually lead her to where her father is now, and that's definitely not something she wants, because she can't compose if she's stuck in the hospital. Kanade, please get your priorities straight, this is so unhealthy. She does agree to having a housekeeper though, and Kanade's grandmother specifically requests for Honami to be that person. Oh, I forgot to mention, Honami was there to observe the housekeeping service before starting to work part-time, so she was only there by coincidence. Kanade's grandma calls it fate. Kanade can barely get her feet in the door before she's rushing back to her computer, realizing that she never uploaded her newest song. She gets to thinking about Mafiu's version and how much she could accomplish if they worked together. So she decides to send Yuki a message. Mafiu replies, obviously agreeing to work with Kanade. This is also the origin of using Nightcord, an app that lets them share files and use a voice chat. We're getting close. Their first call goes about as awkwardly as you'd expect. Mafiu asks Kanade why she asked Mafiu specifically to work with her, and Kanade explains that the emotions she felt through Mafuyu's arrangement were so powerful, she thought she could make something truly amazing with Mafuyu's help. A song that can shine even a tiny amount of light upon that deep, dark despair. The two sort out their roles for making music, and just before they log off, Mafuyu says that her parents are very strict, and as a result of that, she won't be able to work on the music until around 1 a.m. Kanade doesn't mind, though. She asks Mafuyu to meet her again tomorrow on Night Court at 25. Okay, everyone, shoot a glance at those invisible cameras. The next night, the process starts to flow more smoothly. Kanade is still nervous around Mafuyu, but the latter easily breaks the ice. Oh, it's also revealed that both girls are 15 in this flashback. If you'll remember from the beginning of the video, this flashback is from 2 years ago, so it's safe to say that the girls are 17 in the present, or at least Kanade and Mafuyu are. Mafuyu logs off pretty soon after their little side conversation, and Kanade comments that Mafuyu seems to accept her for who she is. A few weeks pass by, and the song is finished and ready to be uploaded. As the two girls leave the call for the night, they both have the same thought.
K の曲が私を誰かを救う曲を作れるかもしれない。
And so our story ends. Wait a second. I forgot that this was a story within a story. We cut back to all 4 members of Night Court plus Miku and Luka, who thank Kanade and Mafuyu for telling them all of this. Though Luka does try to ask about Enna and Musique's history with joining Night Court, Kanade says that it can be a story for another time. It's already 6 in the morning after all, and Mafuyu has to go to school. Musique tells her to try to get a few quick naps in during the day, which prompts Enna to think about going to bed, and oh, what's this? Kanade too? Thank God, some of those habits seem to have grown out of her. Okay, the story's over for real this time. I'm really happy we got this sort of origin story for Kanade and Mafuyu. I really liked seeing how everything came together. I'll definitely be waiting for the Enna and Musique origin stories as well, though I'm not sure if we'll ever get them. Again, I don't know anything about the stories prior to making these videos, so your guess is as good as mine. Thank you for watching all the way until the end. I've been getting a little discouraged lately with the lower view counts on my more recent videos, so really, thank you for taking the time out of your day to listen to me yap. Next up on the event list is Enna 2 and On This Blank Canvas I Paint. I'll see you then.